Now, the good news is if you have been doing technical SEO the traditional way, your site is technically optimized for LLMs already. We have talked about those technical optimization in this video right here, but this video is going to be a little different. Right now, we are moving into the AI search era and large language models are starting to play a huge role in how information gets discovered and delivered. So in this video, I want to highlight a few technical SEO pointers that matter specifically to large language models so you have a clearer perspective on how to approach it going forward. Let's go. We are going to talk about things you do on your site that can prevent your content from being found on AI search platforms like ChatGPT, Perplexity, Claude, Gemini, and others. So let's talk about the first. Now, before I share a website with you, know that I am not here to criticize the site owner or have any negative intent. I just want to point out that large language models have a problem crawling or accessing websites that are JavaScript heavy. Check out this website. To be honest, visually it looks really cool. Every web UX designer would have agreed. And if you right-click on a page and view its page source, you can see that everything is mainly running on JavaScript. So what is the issue, right? Check this out. If I go to ChatGPT and I say, do not visit any other websites other than this website, can you tell me what you know about the person? And there, ChatGPT says the site returned an error 500, which means it cannot access the website and hence cannot get any information out of it. It could also mean the site owner has blocked OpenAI's bots, but regardless. If you go to any other AI search platforms, they will say the same thing. And that's because JavaScripts are not easily accessible by AI platforms. And to be honest, traditional search engines as well, but the only difference is that major search engines have a console for you to upload an XML sitemap and they crawl your pages accordingly. But AI platforms, they don't work the same. However, it doesn't mean that you should avoid fancy websites. Check this out. This is a very cool website. Every scroll brings you through a story. It is not a typical website. Now, to know if this website is accessible to AI search platforms, you just need to search the text that are found on screen, such as this. Let's copy part of the text, right-click and view its page source, and search it. And as you can see, we found a line of text that appears on screen. So if you can find the page content on the page source, it means that it is accessible to the AI search platform. Don't believe me? Let's go back to ChatGPT. Let's copy the prompt and paste it here. We have included a new URL here and let's search it. And there you go. ChatGPT can access the website and learn what the page is about. So it is not that you want to avoid building a fancy website, but you should make sure that the content of the web page is not hidden behind a JavaScript. So if you are hiring a web designer, make sure that you ask for their portfolios and visit the page source of those sites that they have done, and you will know if they put focus on clean, crawlable code or are they just typical designers. If you know how Robots.txt works, llms.txt is just like its cousin, but instead of telling search engine crawlers what they can or cannot access, llms.txt is meant to guide AI crawlers and large language models to the pages that are most important to your site. So whatever links and its descriptions, tell AI crawlers and large language models that these are the most important pages of your site. Now, the llms.txt file is a proposed standard. It is still pretty new, and some people might say, well, AI crawlers don't even read it. And that is partially true. It is not fully adopted yet. But here's the interesting part. Behind the scenes, hundreds of businesses and AI models are quietly adopting this standard, and the number is growing by the day. Big names like Zapier, Stripe, Cloudflare, Coinbase already have this in place, so why shouldn't you? Plus, there is no downside. Adding an llms.txt file doesn't harm your site in any way, and it positions you ahead of the curve as AI search continues to grow. We have already done a complete tutorial right here showing you exactly how to set it up, so I won't go into the details. You can check out that video if you want to, but setting it up with RankMath is pretty easy. it's a flip of the switch. All you need to do as a Rank Math user, be it the free or the pro version, is to make sure that on your Rank Maths dashboard, the LLMS text module is turned on. And when you click on its settings, the file is automatically available through this link. If you want to understand more about the settings and the syntax or the language of the file, you can watch the video I've mentioned earlier. We have left the link in the description. So if you haven't added the file yet, we highly recommend you do so. Now, you might be thinking, well, large language models don't look at schema the same way traditional search engines do, so what is the point? Is it worth adding it? The answer is yes. Schema is a must-have, and here's why. Microsoft confirmed the use of schema markup to help its LLM understand your content. According to BrightEdge, an enterprise SEO platform, it says schema markup makes your content more digestible to search crawlers and knowledge graphs. That in turn has potential to increase the chance your information will be included or cited by answer engines. So in other words, if you add an FAQ schema to one part of your content, large language models will understand that that part is a question and answer. If you add a recipe schema, LLMs will quickly know that that page has a recipe. You're just making it easier for LLMs to understand the context of your page. If you want to know how to do on-page optimization for LLMs, you can check out this video right here. Anyway, if you have Rank Math installed on your WordPress site, depending on what you are writing about, you can visit Rank Maths tab, click on the schema tab, and in the schema generator, you can apply whichever schema type that is suitable for your content. Any schema markup you want to apply, you simply have to add all the information to the best of your knowledge, and the schema will be added to the page without errors. We have done these videos specific to each schema type, so if you have troubles working with either one of the schema, feel free to check out any of these videos. The links are in the description. So adding schema markup is a must, no matter what others say. It helps both traditional search engines and AI search platforms. Now, we have always talked about site speed optimization in traditional SEO, right? A faster site means better user experience and better rankings. But here's the thing, in the AI search era, site speed is just as important, maybe even more. And here's why. Whenever a large language model is tasked to pull information from the web, it needs to fetch the data fast. So if your site is slow to respond, there is a high chance that the AI will just skip it. In some cases, LLMs even time out because of their token limits, meaning they don't have the luxury of waiting around for your page to load. So in this sense, optimizing your site speed isn't just good practice, it is essential if you want your content to show up in AI-generated answers. Optimizing for site speed is pretty easy, and what we have shared in this video right here is still relevant even though it was created a couple of years ago. But to quickly and easily optimize a WordPress website, you can use a plugin called WP Rocket. It is a caching and site speed optimization plugin, and it is suitable for sites hosted on any hosting service. Once you have installed it on your site, in the file optimization options, you can minify your CSS files, which means removing unnecessary characters like spaces, line breaks, and comments from a CSS file, making the file smaller and thus load faster. You can eliminate render blocking CSS on your site. You can choose either remove use CSS or load CSS asynchronously, but we recommend this. But make sure to back up your site before you apply this setting. And then you can make your JavaScript files smaller, combine JavaScript files, which reduces HTTP requests, and that make your site load faster, eliminate render blocking JavaScripts, which is a common problem for most sites, and even delay the loading of JavaScript files to improve performance. Other than that, you can optimize your media files by lazy loading, add missing image dimensions to improve cumulative layout shift, which is one of the core web vitals, and then preloading or self-hosting a font on your site. Following that, preloading cache and links, and many others. It provides a full suite of site optimization features. So if you want to find out more about WP Rocket, you can either scan this QR code or visit the link below. The same link is in the description. Now, another thing you want to always do after optimizing your site is to monitor your Google Search Console for your core web vitals performance. Every month, you should log into your Google Search Console, and in the Experience tab, you want to click on Core Web Vitals, and it will tell you how your pages have performed for Core Web Vitals on mobile and desktop. And if you have many pages in the URLs need improvement or the poor category, you can click to view the report, and it will tell you all the pages that are flagged and their issues. You want to fix them accordingly. For some Cloudflare users, your site may automatically prevent some AI crawlers from accessing your site. Now, we don't know how true this is, but based on this publication from Search Engine Land, Cloudflare might block AI crawlers by default going forward. So if you have a Cloudflare account, make sure that you log into it, then go to the dashboard of the domain by clicking on it, and on the side panel, click on AI Crawl Control. This will list all the AI crawlers and whether or not they are allowed or blocked on your site. You can adjust them accordingly. Other than that, you can expand the security tab, click on bots, and you can control the level of security for AI crawlers. So if you are using Cloudflare to run your site, you may want to check those areas to see if your site is blocking any AI crawlers. Of course, you may not want AI crawlers to access your site for the purpose of training AI models. For OpenAI, GPT bot will be used to train its AI model, so you want to block it. You also want to block ByteSpider, which is ByteDance or TikTok's crawler. CC bot, Claude bot, but not the Claude search bot. You need this to appear on their search platform. And finally, the Meta external agent. These are known AI crawlers that use your content for the purpose of training AI models. Now, another way to block or allow AI crawlers is to use the Robots.txt file. Robots.txt is basically the bouncer of your website, just like the bouncer of a club. It controls the traffic, it determines who can enter and who cannot enter the site to crawl. Basically, it is a text file that includes the rules of your website. Major search engine crawlers will adhere to the rules you set. Now, we have created a complete tutorial on how to set up the Robots.txt file as well as helping you understand the syntax or the language of the crawlers. So if you want to check out that video, it is right here. But since we are talking about AI crawlers, let me walk you through how to block them from crawling for the purpose of training their AI models. One thing you need to understand is that by default, if your robots.txt file is blank, you are essentially allowing all crawlers to enter your site and crawl the content. So if you want to allow a specific crawler to enter your site, you don't have to do anything. However, if you want to prevent a specific crawler from entering your site, you will call out the crawler by typing user-agent : and the crawler you want to block, for example GPT bot. And then on the next line, you will type disallow, : space, and a slash, which means disallowing this crawler from crawling any of the pages on your site. You can do the same for other crawlers as well. However, if you only want to block all crawlers from probably crawling any pages with this causes in the URL, which means in any URL, if there is this causes in the URL, all crawlers should not be crawling them, then what you want to do is to call all user agents by adding this star. This means all user agents need to look at this rule. And since we have a disallow here, you want to go to the next line and add another disallow. Following that, causes, so that all user agents shouldn't be crawling any URLs with this. It is pretty straightforward. And if you want to test the rules of your robots.txt file, you can simply click on validate code. And remember, we have disallowed GPT bot. So selecting GPT bot or ByteSpider, which is right here, if we click on test, it has identified that ByteSpider is not allowed to enter our site. Again, if you want the full tutorial on robots.txt, you can watch the video I've mentioned. Anyway, let's talk about some final adjustments. Now, before we wrap up, there are a few other technical details you don't want to overlook. The first is having an XML sitemap. I know it is a tool for traditional search engines, but it is also applicable to AI search engines because they don't have a search console to rely on. So a clear XML or a HTML sitemap is one of the few ways they can understand your site structure. If you are a RankMath user, you can easily create both the XML and the HTML sitemap. As soon as you turn on the sitemap module, you can visit its settings, and this is the link to your XML sitemap. And whenever you publish, update, or delete any indexable pages, this XML sitemap will automatically be updated. And then if you want to create HTML sitemap for AI crawlers, you can simply click on HTML sitemap and toggle this on. Then create a blank page, name it accordingly, and you can select the page you have created as the HTML sitemap. Otherwise, you can select the shortcode option and copy this shortcode to paste it on any page you choose. Simple and easy. Another thing you can optimize is the canonical tags. If you have duplicated pages, you need to tell search engines which is the page you want them to look at. Now, you might be wondering, do canonical tags even matter in AI search? Large language models don't crawl websites the same way Googlebot does. But here's the thing. AI search platforms like Perplexity or U.com still lean heavily on traditional search engines and knowledge graphs. If Google or Bing gets confused by duplicated versions of your page, that can trickle down into what LLMs see, cite, or ignore. So while canonicals don't make or break your visibility in AI search, they are still important for keeping your site clean. So if you have two identical pages or somewhat similar in nature, and you want this page to be indexed on search engines, let's call this the original page, then you want to add the URL of this original page and paste it on the duplicated page. So you want to copy the URL of the original page. Then on the duplicated page, you want to go to Rank Maths tab. In the Advanced tab, you want to paste the URL of the original page here in the canonical URL field. And this will tell search engines that index this page and do not focus on this. This gives clarity to the traditional search engines and making sure that the right content is being seen on AI searches. One last thing. Check your Google Search Console for any crawling errors, because it will tell you if there are pages that AI crawlers cannot crawl. For example, excluded by the no index tag. Scroll through to see if there are any pages that are not supposed to have the no index tag. And if there are, go to the back end of the page, click on the Rank Math tab, and in the Advanced tab, if it is set to no index, you want to change it to index and save the post. Now, in case you're wondering what is the purpose between the robots.txt file and the index or no index meta tags, here is a comparison table. The robots.txt prevents crawling, but the meta tags do not, because the crawler needs to crawl the page to read the meta tag. And if it can't crawl the page, it cannot see the tag. And then the robots.txt does not prevent indexing, but the robots meta does. Robots.txt is a site-wide robots controller, but the meta tags is a page-level robot controller. Now, the last place you want to check to know if your site is preventing AI crawlers or any crawlers from entering your site is to visit your site settings and to the reading settings. Check to see if this box is checked. If it is checked, you are discouraging search engines and probably any AI crawlers from indexing your site. So make sure that this is not checked. So these are the technical optimizations you can do for AI search engines. Have I missed anything? If yes, do let us know in the comments down below. And don't forget to smash that thumbs up. Our channel is all about helping you grow your brand traffic, and if you haven't subscribed to our channel yet, consider doing so. This is Jack from Rank Math. I'll see you in the next video.